Okay, people, there's no doubt in my mind after reading chapter 318 of My Hero Academia that we're being baited. We're being baited into a huge plot twist, whichever which way it goes, because what is being done in this chapter and in the latest few chapters in this arc in general with My Hero Academia regarding the first Inheritor, not the first person to have it, but the first Inheritor of One for All, and Bakugo, the paneling, the way it was done, is like, what is going on here? Is the whole theory, the whole idea of time travel still valid? Is it something totally different? What's going on here? Because it definitely feels like it was baiting us and hinting at something that might not actually come to fruition. It might be something totally different, but nevertheless, it definitely felt that way, and it feels like a giant plot twist is on its way after reading this and everything that's going on with Deku, because we got some stuff to talk about yet again with Deku and his never-ending quest of basically being Manga's Batman at this point. Batman meets Spider-Man meets the symbiote, like all sorts of stuff is going down with Deku, and I ain't gonna lie, it's only a matter of time before he burns out. It's only a matter of time before you get burnt out, and he's getting close to that, and hopefully with the latest events in 318 that doesn't become the case. Without further ado, people, let's talk a little bit of that My Hero Academia greatness.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, people, so with this chapter, it definitely felt like it was toying with a lot of different ideas and toying with the readers. Now, let's start off from the get-go of the beginning so we could get to and understand everything and unpack it accordingly, because it starts off with Endeavor talking to Deku and giving him a bit of reality, and I wish he would be a little bit more stern. Like, I think right now what would work, or it might not even work, I don't know, because Deku, he has a little bit of spice to him now. He's not the same Deku we already, we've established that. He's not the same guy at this particular point, but the way Endeavor's talking to him, basically, instead of giving him an order, instead of telling him firmly, like the old Endeavor would have been like, get your ass here now, enough. Now, he's basically like, yo, come on, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you gotta be stern with this dude or something, because he tells him basically, at this rate, you're not going to last much longer. You're spreading yourself too thin. And he says something really huge, that the dispatch date for the foreign heroes is already being established. They're supposed to be getting in soon. So basically, we're going to be getting in foreign heroes from different places, and I think that's going to be a big deal. And I'm looking forward to that, because we've already heard for a while now about, like, there's heroes in America and all sorts of stuff. Now that they're actually going to hopefully come over here, that's going to be interesting. But I definitely feel like there's a possibility that they'll be held off. Like, if All For One has all these plans and shit like that, right? And they're trying to send, let's just say a hero from Spain, a hero from Mexico, a hero from the US, all sorts of shit. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, All For One is working on some sort of barrier to keep them out, because he knows everything, right? He's been knowing every step of the way. Every time they try to do something, he's like, yo, yeah, I knew that, this, that, and third. So it could be because of moles. It could be because of maybe a quirk that he has that allows him to see a little into the future. Whatever it may be, I don't think that these foreign heroes are going to be able to do much, or they might not even be able to break into Japan based on All For One being that damn crafty. Maybe I'm going to be wrong on that, and if I am, very well, because I want to see these heroes. I want to see what the heroes outside of Japan are looking like. Are there any All Might-esque type of heroes, or was All Might the best in the world? But Endeavor tells Deku, like, yo, fam, you're key to all this. If you fall, we're gonna have an issue. And Deku ain't hearing nothing of it. The new Deku is not hearing a goddamn thing that Endeavor has to say. He's like, I'm fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't give the villains any time to prepare. Like, I'm gonna keep on going. And I'm like, on one hand, I understand it. On one hand, like, right now, Deku has this obsession. Deku has this drive to, he want to clean up the streets, because as we've seen throughout all these chapters, that it's really bad out there. It's really ugly out there. You got these wannabe heroes that are destroying shit, then you got the villains destroying shit, then on top of that, you got assassins after Deku's neck. That's a lot, which again, what Endeavor said earlier, yeah, you're spreading yourself too thin. You're gonna burn out, fam. And then when we cut to the page where Deku looks like damn near a kaiju, for a moment there, I was like, yo, is that Godzilla? Like, what's going on here, Deku? Like, Deku is looking real bad. The way Horikoshi is exaggerating his design and making him look, he's looking like a monster. He's looking like how he's acting, like just a monster, a kaiju or some shit. And at the very least, the predecessors are there, like, trying to give a little bit of the right advice, because they're like, yo, fam, your wounds haven't healed yet. Now it's not the time to throw caution to the wind yet. So they're trying to tell him, like, yo, you need to relax a little bit. And it's giving me vibes, like, we've talked about before, like, he's kind of like a Spider-Man, and then, the way he's been acting is going, like, down the symbiote route. But it's also, it reminds me a lot of Batman. You know how Batman, especially if you watch, like, Batman, the animated series, Batman gets obsessed with a case, and they used to call him out a lot, because, like, yo, you're so damn obsessed, you need to take a break from your work and shit like that. But no, I'm Batman, I need to do this. And Deku, he's getting obsessed. Like, he just constantly continues on. He's fighting all these people in the streets. He's doing everything that needs to be done, but he's going overboard. He's giving me vibes of Batman and how he gets obsessed with being a hero and saving people. And the predecessors even begin to discuss a little bit about Deku and how, like, ever since all of their quirks have manifested within him, how he's just been going after every cause. Like, every cause is the right cause that he needs to be going after. And while some of them agree with him, ultimately is like, yo, he's going overboard. Like, everybody is basically saying, and that's one of the things that this chapter is driving force. It's kind of making me imagine that at some given point Deku is going to crash and burn, because this entire chapter was that. This entire chapter was from Endeavor saying it, the predecessor saying it, even at one given point the new villain Dictator says it, but everybody is saying you're gonna crash and burn, you're gonna crash and burn. It's only a matter of time before it happens. However, the first Inheritor, the one that looks like Bakugo with a scar, he basically says, nah, he agrees with Deku. He says he's doing it right, because remember, he comes from an era where, like, there was no time to relax, there was no time for peace. Like, you have to keep on going, keep on moving, keep on shaking. So he agrees with the method that Deku is taking, not really having, I guess, much empathy in terms of, like, he's gonna break down, everybody's right, you're wrong, because he says Deku's doing it right, and if anything can bolster him, it'd be, and that connects to the end of the chapter with, again, I don't know what Horikoshi is trying to hint at, whether regarding if there's some sort of connection between that Inheritor and Bakugo, because definitely seems like there's something there. Horikoshi's playing with us, but we'll cut back to that in a little bit, because we cut back to Deku. He's once again saving people, and you can tell that even the people are getting scared of him. Like, that's a very, very bad sign, because it's already bad if you're breaking down, right? It's already bad if you're driving yourself to the brink. But then on top of that, when you got people that are scared of you, the same people you're supposed to protect are now scared of you. They're like, holy shit, you got all of these quirks. Are you working with All For One? Like, you're now making even the people that you're supposed to protect not want to be protected by you. That is bad, and that's a lot of it is due to the nature of him. Like, I throw the argument that if Deku wasn't looking the way he looked, like a damn monster, kaiju and shit like that, they probably would have been like, oh, this nice boy is helping us out. I don't know how he has all these quirks and shit like that, but the fact that he looks so crazy and shit, they're like, yo, you got all these quirks, you must be related for All For One. Like, even after he saves them, they're like, okay, yo, that's dope. Like, yo, have an awesome one, we out of here. Like, they don't want nothing to do with him, which is understandable. His inside is showing outward now in terms of the monstrous nature, which Deku, he's going out of control. He's going off the rails. And like I said earlier, just once again seems like he's obsessed with all of this. He starts once again talking about All For One, how he got to stop him and Shigaraki and the League, and he has to complete One For All in order to obtain peace, which are all signs of obsession. Like, if that's all on your mind, you're on a one-track mind right now, you have a problem, fam. Deku needs a little intervention, to be honest with you. But fam, I ain't gonna lie, Horikoshi was in his bag. Horikoshi was cooking when he did the panel of Deku, and you see, like, all the people that he cares about and loves behind him, and he just looks like a monster right there, and he says he needs to complete One For All so we can all smile together. And it's a demonstration, a visual demonstration, very artistic touch. I love that shit of him showcasing, like, where Deku is at right now, that probably even the people he loves would just look at him a little bit strange. Like, they would probably even look at him like, yo, we're all here, yeah, we're in pain because of what we're going through, but they're also probably going to be in pain because of what you are and what you're becoming. And I can't wait to see that animated. Like, that panel looked amazing, and I can only imagine it in color and everything. Like, woo, Studio Bones, you better do that shit right. And then we get introduced to the next hired gun, which I want to say that would make it the third one at this particular point, because we saw, of course, Lady Nagant, then the second one that got laid the hell out within one page, and then now this guy Dictator, who also emphasizes what everybody else in this chapter has been emphasizing. He's like, oh, you're just like All For One said, of how, you know, you're obsessed with saving people and this, that, and the third. Like, once again, talking about Deku getting on that verge. Like, it is absolutely inevitable for Deku to crash and burn, because even the villains are saying it. Even the villains, it's bad when your ops can tell what's up with you. When your ops can tell what's up with you, you have an issue. You have a problem, Deku. And apparently Dictator was one of the prisoners that escaped from Tartarus, and he likes to use numbers to his advantage. Basically, his quirk is an ability to, like, control people, like, you know, random people. He could just in bunches control them and whatnot. And I ain't gonna lie, that's not the greatest power in the world. I mean, I guess it could be useful, especially against somebody, a softy like Deku, where you don't want to hurt innocent people. So it's like, okay, how do you maneuver around that? But yeah, Dictator, in comparison to, like, Lady Nagant, that's probably why Nagant was, like, the first one want to go after Deku, because like that was a challenge. Like you saw that possibly Nagant could have got the W against Deku. Second one, he clears out in a page. And then the third one, the only reason why in this chapter Dictator seemingly is giving Deku a run for his money is because Deku is a really, really good guy and a true hero that doesn't want to hurt innocent bystanders. And I don't know what was up with the random mention of Crust, that apparently Dictator was caught by Crust many years ago. Obviously, R.I.P. Crust. He died in the recent war or whatever. I was just kind of like, Horikoshi, why are you bringing up Crust? Are you trying to make us remember? I guess that's more trauma. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe it's to add more trauma, because now thinking about Crust dying in the war is going to make Deku go even more off the rails. So there's that possibility why Horikoshi brought it up. Because other than that, why are we talking about Crust? Like, I'll just be honest with you. I don't know many people that were like, oh my god, I can't take it. Oh no, Crust died. I gotta drop my hero. Who the fuck gives a shit about Crust? But it does make sense, again, to bring him up of like, yeah, Deku, the stakes is high. We've lost people before. We can't play around, which is even further driving Deku to the brink. And apparently the only way to stop Dictator's quirk is to either knock out the people that he's controlling or knock him out. So it's basically like you gotta knock him out, especially for somebody like Deku. You gotta knock him out unless you're gonna hurt these innocent, civilians. And this moment right here is what showcases that Deku is still Deku. Like, yeah, he's becoming obsessed with this, and it's mainly due to his good nature, but you can see that his good nature is clear as day when they're all mobbing him and he's like, I gotta think of a strategy, but he's not hurting the people as they're jumping on top of him, all these civilians that Dictator is controlling. Like, if Deku was not Deku, he would have not cared. He would have just started swinging on all of them. Like, he's thinking of all his variety of quirks, which I'm imagining probably using the smoke screen would have been the best one if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, it would have blinded them, but he's thinking of all the various quirks that he has, and because he doesn't want to hurt these people, he doesn't use any of them. If he was not the same Deku, he would have just said, yo, one for all, 200%, I'm breaking all of you guys down, okay? Deku is still Deku. That needs to be established, because again, a lot of us, we get a little carried away. We see like, yo, Deku ain't acting the same, this is not, and to a certain degree, he's not the same Deku, but in terms of that core person of being a hero, no, he's still a hero. He's just really like obsessed with being a hero. And as they begin to mob him, we see somebody says, that punk armor-piercing shot, and it hits Dictator in between the, amongst the entire crowd. And then we see another panel of the first Inheritor of One for All. And this is right here, once again, that connects it all. That makes me wonder, what are you trying to hint at? What are you trying to hint at, Horikoshi? Because, again, we see the first Inheritor, and then we see that the person that actually saved him is Bakugo. And to complete what the first Inheritor of One for All said earlier, it says, if anything that could bolster Deku, it's... And then we see Bakugo there. So, is he saying that Bakugo was the one? And why are we showing them at the same time and they look very similar, except this time around Bakugo, in that final panel that we see him in, his eyes don't look the same anymore. He doesn't look angry like he normally would. Like, while you look at the Inheritor, his eyes is like angry, pissed off and shit like that. Bakugo looks very, I don't want to say out of character, but I guess kind of not in normal character of like, being an asshole and shit like that, like, Deku, you piece of shit. And it ends up with Bakugo saying, he's here, guys, which I'm imagining he's probably talking to some of the other members of Class 1A. Maybe they've been looking for Deku, they want to help him out, and Bakugo showed up just in time. And again, if the first Inheritor of One for All is hinting that the person that he needs is Bakugo, what's going on here? Are we still, is the time travel theory still legit of the Inheritor being Bakugo from the future or some crazy shit? What are you trying to hint at, Horikoshi? At this point, I'm not really sure. I'm not going to completely go with that theory, but there's some type of connection he's trying to showcase. And again, it was oddly out of character to see Bakugo like that, but I am gonna lie, one of the things that I do want to see, I gotta throw this in there, I definitely want to see, considering Deku, again, he's the same person in terms of being a hero, but he's a little bit more edgier, more obsessed. I want to see, right, Bakugo, if he's kind of a little more softened up maybe throughout this time after the war, probably he's not like the same asshole type of person. I want to see Bakugo try to attempt to press Deku, and I want to see Deku for the very first time turn around and say, yo, shut the fuck up before I kick your ass. I want to see that so bad. I want to see that. I want to see possibly Deku pimp smack Bakugo onto the ground or some shit. It is a long time coming. This is a very, very selfish thing that I want to see, but I absolutely want to see it. I think it'll be done. I don't know about the pimp smack, but I think there's a possibility that Bakugo and them are there like, yo, we're here. And because Deku is so obsessed with being the lone hero and doing it alone, I need to, protect everybody. You come near me, you're going to be in danger. Deku might say, yo, get away from me. I'm stronger now. I don't need you no more. I've outranked you, fam. Get away. Which would shatter Bakugo's pride. I want to see that. And honestly, overall, yet again, another solid chapter. Just driving home that Deku, yeah, he's out of here, fam. He's really obsessed with this shit. I mean, between everything that we see, yet again, all the predecessors, everybody in this chapter, from Endeavor to the predecessor of One for All to even the new villain Dictator, all of them have been moving forth with saying Deku is running himself ragged, so it's only a matter of time before he crashes and burns. Curious what you guys think. Do you think within the next couple chapters we're gonna see conflict between Deku and Bakugo? Maybe Bakugo and some of Class 1A is gonna show up like, yo, we're here to help you, and Deku's gonna turn them away? Do you think we're gonna see All for One again soon? And your overall thoughts and expectations, where the hell this is all going? Like, that whole thing, like I said earlier, feels like we're being baited. It feels like this Inheritor and Bakugo being in the same scene. I don't know what the heck Horikoshi got in store, but I'm really excited to find out. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the My Hero Academia manga with chapter 319 and beyond. Shit is getting cray-cray. I like it a lot. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And yo, I ain't gonna lie, I really want to see Deku tell Bakugo off. It's a long time coming. Fingers crossed, fam. Fingers crossed. Have an awesome day. So just go to